this is a chance for you to settle down and work out where you are and whether you're in the right room or not. And I'm going to be talking about Marketing 2020, so if you're not in the Marketing 2020 session, now's the time to leave. But Marketing 2020, I think it's a really interesting piece of work, and I've had a real joy in chairing this advisory board, and I'll come on to introduce the advisory board. I'm Keith Weed, I'm the Chief Marketing Officer of Unilever globally, and I have been struggling with some of the same challenges I'm sure many of you have. We are living an incredibly exciting time for marketing and advertising and brands. There's never been so much change as going on right now. If I think about how much it's changed in the last 10 years, it's extraordinary. But then I think how much it's changed in the last 5 years is extraordinary. And I think again, like, my God, how much it's changed in the last 3 years. And in the same way that we see this huge step up for all of us in the area of sort of broadly named digital, I think we're going to see it all over again with mobile. I think mobile is going to change again the way we engage with people and how people engage with our brands. And so for all of us, we've been changing our strategies, flexing our strategies to ensure that not only do we survive, but we thrive in this changing world. And also, always, organisations should follow strategy. So the question to yourself and your colleagues back at the ranch is have you been flexing your organisation against your strategy? We certainly have. We've made some good calls, we've made some bad calls, and we've learnt on the way. But I keep asking myself, have I really changed it enough? You know, we've made some evolutionary stages. I'm sure, like many of you, we've built up a big capability around digital and make sure that we get to the future first and always write well our lines and we're going to lead and etc. etc. But when I stand back and look across the breadth of our marketing organisation, we have 6,500 marketers globally. You know, are we really fit for purpose for the future ahead? So when Mark approached me, in fact, it was a combination of both of you approached from the WFA, approached me and said, you know, could you chair this advisory board against this piece of work? I thought, well, fantastic opportunity to actually pull myself a little bit closer to what's going on. So what did we do? Quite simply, is we had this objective about where is marketing as far as the role against delivering business strategy, the way it's structured in this new and dynamic and changing world, how to build capability and equip the marketeers for the future. I mean, certainly I'm sure you have the same challenge, is our middle managers are very much the lost generation. They weren't born and brought up in the digital world like all the people coming up underneath them, nor are they in their 50s, such as myself, with a 22-year-old, a 20 and an 18-year-old kid. And if I didn't engage with them in this world, they wouldn't talk to me at all. And they're caught in the middle. They neither have grown-up kids nor do they grow up. And I think they are, you know, the lost generation who are really leading all our brands around the world, but are least equipped. So we've certainly been investing a lot in capability building. And then last but not least, what are the leadership skills that we need right now and behaviours to succeed in this very exciting world. So that was the objectives, some quite big objectives. Here's the Global Advisory Board. We have John, who has just come in, who's sitting over there. A very warm welcome to John from IBM. Chris also, he's very, very tanned and relaxed. Yeah, Chris, you can tell he's an executive in residence. When I knew him in his previous job, he was pale and drawn, and now he looks healthy and relaxed. So okay, this actually is good for you. I've got to remember that. Note to self. Antonio isn't with us, but we have Kevin. Where's Kevin? Kevin is with us from Visa, and Beth isn't with us, but we have Linda. And where's Linda? Linda's there. Hi, Linda. And we don't have anyone for Rob, who unfortunately can't be with us, but as he's another executive in residence, he's residing somewhere and looking equally relaxed as Chris, I'm sure. So what you see here is a cross-section of you know, business to business, business to consumer, we have finance, we have big data, we have service, we have FMCG, so a pretty good cross-section of people on the advisory board. And then, as always with advisory boards, these are the people who did the work. Yeah? So the advisory board were very good at advising, but actually effective brands, and of course Mark, who will go on and talk about everyone's contributor, etc. Let's be clear, effective brands have done a huge amount of work in leading and shaping that. We also have, as our global partner, Spencer Stewart, who obviously knows a great deal about spotting talent, retaining talent, ensuring the talent is developed. Metrics Lab, this is online research, and connecting offshore marketers with insight online. The WFA, which of course is both one side representing all the national advertising federations around the world, but also some of the top 25 advertisers themselves. Adobe, which brings sort of software solutions and sort of workflow solutions to how marketers can market better and message more effectively. Forbes, who is increasingly being sort of a CMO insight and learning gatherer together of. In fact, I'm sure some of us are, but I'm certainly going to a Forbes event straight after this. And then we have the local. There's 8 different national federations of advertising as well, as you can see from across the world. And then there are other partners. I know Marketing Week's in the room here. I know Campaign Asia. I'm looking for Marketing Week here. Here we go. Marketing Week and Campaign Asia. Somewhere here, perfect. Partners as well. So I just want to recognise the breadth of people who've been involved in this, and hopefully it'll also give you some sort of confidence that it's worth listening to, because there's the amount of people that have engaged. And this is not my quote, but I think it's quite a good one. The most ambitious global marketing leadership growth program ever orchestrated. And if you think that already 250 CMOs have been involved, thousands of marketers have just found out that 12,000 questionnaires have gone out on Marketing Week this week. And how many are going out across Asia? You're saying?
About 80,000.
80,000, I believe, exactly. Asia dwarfing the UK, common theme here. It's going to be big, and size isn't necessarily important itself. It's going to be representative. If you do something on that scale, I think we should be able to draw conclusions that are really quite solid out of it. So we're going to talk about some initial results, and here is the team who's going to do this. So Mark, of course, the founder of Effective Brands, and I'm going to be handing over to him shortly. We have Suchita Govil, who is the Global Head of Marketing of Akzo Nobel, which of course is the leading decorative paints business, and have done some fantastic work, particularly around, can you think that you could come behind Dulux and build a sort of purpose-driven brand, and they've done a fantastic job of doing that. And then Kevin from Visa, so a combination of globalizing the organisation around marketing for Visa, but also some great pioneering work with relationships with agencies, etc. So people have all got some experience, insight, and some track record in marketing around the world. So on that note, I'm going to hand over to Mark, who's going to take over. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you very much, Keith. So there's 2 people in the room now that are getting very nervous, and it's Sucheta and Kevin, because they just did their big thing on the stage over there. And don't worry, I won't call you back. Thank you. I want to start it with a thank you. Welcome everybody. It's fantastic. It's never happened before. The Cannes organization said, can you get this many CMOs in a room? Do you think people want, there's this trend of this festival basically moving from a just creativity to much more creativity for a reason, to results, to marketing leaders, bringing their top teams here. And I think over the last 5 years we've all seen it happen. I think all of us as marketers have had to be convinced that actually it was worth coming, and that it wasn't just one big booze up for the creatives, and I think they managed to actually do both now. So when I go home at night and I walk down the crosshead, I see them boozing up, but we have also met. So let me take you through really a very top line sort of status quo, because as Keith said, this is ongoing, this is not done. Marketing2020 kicked off at full scale about 6 weeks ago, and this week, like yesterday, the UK survey went out to several tens of thousands of marketers. Tomorrow, 80,000 across Asia. I think by the time that we're done, which will be the end of June, when we really will unplug, because at some point you just need to start analysing, I think we'll literally be at about 750,000 marketers worldwide that have been invited to participate. Phenomenal number. And really, what we're trying to do is really, and this was some of the presentation that we showed this morning, we tried to take a client's perspective, us, marketers. But then, what I wanted to do here is take you through those insights, again, remembering full well that actually we took a sort of dipstick approach of what do we know now, right? The purpose of this roundtable because there will be about 6 to 8 roundtables between now and the end of July. In fact, what am I saying? It's closer to 12. Just 4 in the US, in the UK, in Holland, in Belgium. In fact, Belgium already took place 3 days ago. There will be CMO roundtables like this, where we're not coming back and saying, ta-da, this is everything we've learned, but much more on an iterative process. We're saying, this is what we're seeing, now help us shape the analysis. Because, as you'll see at the end, John will take you through the next steps, the heavy lifting of the analysis and the recommendation development and the case study development takes place after this, which is when we will re-engage and say, look, this is what we're really thinking needs to happen, this is where it's going, this is what you can do as a marketing leader. So this is not a very long presentation, it's a setup for a discussion that you'll have at your tables that will bring together. And it's not Chatham House rules either. I mean, we really want to hear your thoughts. And as you can hear, there are journalists here because what we're trying to do is we're trying to really engage the marketing community en masse. In a way it's never happened before. Because who is that? Well, thank God for LinkedIn. I did this last week, it's always fun. 2.1 million people have marketing in their title, or have had marketing in their title at any one time. If you say, well, in the current job description title, it's actually about 900,000 people, active marketers. But that's interesting, but of course, not everybody takes big decisions, so let's take another step back. 100,000, it's actually 102,000 people, are of the vice president or more senior level. Right? We're getting closer. And of that, 2,800 are senior marketers working at Fortune 500 companies. Then we did a little bit abstract, and this is where it gets a little quirky because, of course, the science is not there. But we think about 500 senior marketing leaders direct about 60% of the world's marketing spend. Interestingly enough, Marketing2020 has already had participation by more than half of those people. So yes, there's quant, but there's also qual, because every one of those CMOs spent an hour with us in a very structured way, saying where they saw their challenges, where they see the opportunities, and the barriers that they're having to overcome, and the best practices that are helping them be successful. People like Jim Farley, Ford, Teddy Jeff. We asked people from different directions. He's hugging Obama there after the victory. Obama said that he was key to his victory. He ran the digital campaign for Obama for America. But we also went the other direction and said to creatives, to heads of agencies, look at the CMO, look at the role of the CMO, look at the marketing organization. And I put Bob Greenberg up there not just because I admire him, but also because I've heard of the enormous struggles that, as the Nike Fuel Band, and many of us have it, if you get into companies and you really start thinking big creativity, what's the struggle of actually getting solutions throughout the whole organization? So, it really is B2B, B2C, a very broad industry representation there. And as I said, we really made a point of going to the agencies as well. We literally said to them, look, you're seeing clients that are easy to work with, and you're seeing clients that are very difficult to work with. So,
Mark, is that your phone? Somebody is that's you.
Just move it away. Thank you. Come on. There's only one person that has that ring, it's my wife. So, the survey is live now and will be, and the nice thing is we've seen this oil spill happen over the last few weeks, where all the partners are now beginning to share the link. And the great thing is we've had 62 countries respond. There's 2 people from Afghanistan that have participated in our survey, and 1 from Rwanda. Very interesting. We're getting a broad spectrum here. Now, what are people looking at? First thing, we asked, and many of you that have participated know that we asked you this, and said, so what are the major trends out there that are shaping your strategy? And what you see is it's very consistent along the top there, not very surprising. Mobile technology, technology in general, transparency, it's about real, better informed consumers and therefore also making new demands. And if there's anything that's sort of off that technology thing, it's about the demographic shifts, the big major movement of about 800 million people in the world coming into the middle class over the next